Mechanical drawing, our objective is to set up or lay out our piece of paper where our drawing is going to go. You can see there are a couple of different things on the drawing that you should be aware of. The outer edge of the paper, this outer edge right here, that outer edge is called the border or the border area. You never draw into the border area, all right? The border is like the frame on a painting. The next thing you need to see, you see these very light lines right here. These lines are drawn 1 inch from the border, right? Both the bottom border and the side border, they're drawn 1 inch in. They're very, very light lines we call construction lines. Those construction lines are going to help us form a starting point for our drawing. Most of our drawings will start right at this point right here. That's where our drawings will start. The last thing about the setup of the drawing is this area up top here. The area up top is called the title box or the title block. The title box or the title block includes some important information related to the drawing. It will include the name of the person preparing the drawing, the date the drawing is completed, the title of the drawing, and normally a drawing number. That's something we'll get back to in a little while. The supplies. The material you need to complete the setup or layout of the mechanical drawing is what you'll need throughout the whole block of instruction on mechanical drawing. You need a blank piece of paper, you'll need a pencil, and you'll need a ruler. Those are basically the only tools that you'll need. Now, in order to start the setup of the drawing, what we're going to do is we're going to work on that 1/2 inch border first. Now, in order for you to see what I'm drawing, I'm going to put my pencil away and I'm going to use a blue pen. The blue pen shows up much better on the drawing on the video. So that's what I'm going to use. But you should be using a number 2 pencil. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the border. We're going to draw the border in around the drawing. And the way that we start that is we start by knowing that the border is 1/2 an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 0 inches on our ruler and we're going to put it on the top left-hand corner of our drawing and we're going to measure down 1/2 an inch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this shot and so you can see actually where 1/2 an inch is on the ruler. So let's do that now. Right now, the border on our drawing is 1/2 an inch. And you can see that I have 0 inches on the top edge of my drawing. I'm going to measure down 1/2 an inch and I'm going to put a dot. So I'm going to measure down 1/2 an inch. And we know 1/2 an inch is the same as 8/16, and I'm going to put a small dot there. All right, now we know that there are 2 points required to draw a line. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide our page over, and you're going to slide your ruler over also, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start at the top right-hand edge of the paper this time, and we're going to measure down, 1/2 an inch, and we're going to put another little dot. So I'm going to measure down 1/2 an inch. Here's a 1/2 inch point on our ruler, right? It's a 1/2 inch or 8/16, and we're going to put a little dot. Once I have that dot, what I can do now is draw a very, very light line all the way across the drawing. And in mechanical drawing, we draw all our lines across the drawing, and we draw them very, very light. Those light lines are called construction lines. So what we're going to do is draw a very, very light construction line across the top of this drawing. And I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit here so we can see what we're doing. There we go. And I'm going to take my ruler now, and I'm going to line up my ruler on those two dots that I just made, and now I'm going to draw a very, very, very light line across the page. Once I've done that, right, I'm going to draw my left border line. In order to draw my left border line, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take 0 inches on my ruler, and I'm going to place it on the left edge of the paper. Once I do that, I'm going to look for a ½ inch, the ½ inch mark on my ruler, and I'm going to put a dot. Once again, I'm measuring a ½ inch. I have 0 inches on the left edge of my paper. I'm measuring to the right a ½ inch, and I'm going to put a little dot. I'm going to go to the bottom of my page, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put 0 inches on the bottom left edge of my paper. I'm going to measure over a ½ inch or 8/16, and I'm going to put a little dot. Once I've done that, I have 2 points. I can now draw a straight line. I am going to now take my ruler, and I'm going to draw a very, very light construction line. A very, very light construction line through those 2 points. Draw a very light line. Now that I've done that, I'm going to draw a line, a border line on the right side of my page. So I'm going to follow the same procedure. I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to line 0 inches on the upper right edge of my drawing. Once I do that, I'm going to measure over again a ½ inch. Now I'm not going to tighten up on the shot because you've seen that already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot at ½ inch. I'm going to slide my ruler down the page. I'm going to slide my ruler down the page, put 0 inches on the bottom right edge of the paper, right? And I'm going to measure over to the left a ½ inch or 8/16 to put a dot. Once I've done that, once I have those 2 dots, I am going to draw a very, very light construction line through those 2 points. The last thing I have to do is I have to put the border on the bottom of the page. So in order to do that, I'm going to start in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to get 0 inches on my ruler, take 0 inches and place it on the bottom and put it on the bottom edge of my paper. I'm going to measure up a ½ inch or 8/16. I'm going to put a dot. Just like we've done in the past, you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Right? Don't be fooled by another dot you might have put on the paper. All right, so you need to make sure that this is the ½ inch dot that we're working with right here. All right, I'm going to go to the right side of the paper now. I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to measure up a ½ inch or 8/16. I'm going to put another dot. My next step is to take those 2 dots and draw a line through them. My next step is to take those 2 dots that I just put on the page here and here, now draw a light line through them. Okay? Now I have the construction lines that form my border. We're going to come back to this in a little while. If you notice, every once in a while I'll put my red Sharpie marker up there. And the reason I do that is my camcorder has an autofocus function, and when it's just white paper, right, you'll see that it jumps in and out of focus. So if I put something there's some color there, all right, the autofocus works properly. So that's why occasionally I'll put something up there.